now, for the 12th month in a row, Nigeria's headline inflation rose to 13.22% in the month of August, while food inflation came in at 16%. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, that's according to the National Bureau of Statistics. Now, financial derivatives says the full resumption of economic activity will lead to a shift in aggregate demand. They also expect Nigeria's headline inflation to reach 14% by the end of the year. Ige Olumayowa, research analyst at Financial Derivatives, joins me now for this conversation. Ige, thank you for joining me today. Let's quickly, I suppose the number for August is not totally unexpected. We're expecting it to climb, and FDC is already predicting it to hit as high as 14%. But what are the most important factors that we need to know about those factors that are driving this inflation rate higher?
Basically, a lot of it is from the increase in food prices. That's why we have this inflation. If you look at for the past few months, we had the lockdown, and then from April, June, May, a lot of the retail demand started increasing. A lot of activities started. We saw an increase in activities as the lockdowns were eased, and also just last month we had openings of dining facilities, hotels, and then we've seen an increase in economic activities in the country, and this has led to an increase in demand generally, and we have seen this reflect in push in prices, and this has led to inflation that we have seen this month.
I'm looking at food inflation at 16% month on month. How concerned should we be about this? 16%, that's quite a high number.
Yes, we should be very concerned about this, and we can see this as a result of the lockdowns. We had restrictions in movement as a result of the COVID lockdowns. Farmers are usually in the rural areas. They couldn't move their produce from rural areas to the urban areas as a result of the lockdowns. You had the hitch in transportation. Even we had also increase in petroleum twice in the month of August, and this factor led to the increase in prices as we had a shortage of supply in urban areas. And also we've seen other factors that we can't totally control, such as delay in rainfall, and even flooding in some areas. This actually affected the supply of food produce from agriculture, and this affected prices. And then this is actually a thing of concern, because as we have demand increasing as a result of institutional demand also coming in and retail demand increasing, the supply that we have may not be enough to actually cover this demand. So we'll see a gap in the supply and demand.
So is that what you mean? Because I'm looking at the note that you put out, expectations for retail demand. Can you shed more light on that?
Yeah, a lot of, if you look at it, for interest rates have reduced, and then you know that consumption, when you have interest rates declining, people are less inclined to save, and when they're less inclined to save, they tend to spend more, and this will lead to an increase in retail demand, individuals' demand, and this would actually push up prices, because you have more demand for a limited supply of goods, and that automatically leads to an increase in price. This is what we mean by retail demand increasing as a result of they have extra money to spend, because they are not necessarily saving, because there's no incentive to save as a result of low interest rates. Currently, the treasury bills interest rates are low, savings interest rate low, so you have the money they have would more or less be spent instead of saved.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you, Ige, for talking to us today. We appreciate your time. Ige Olumayowa, research analyst at Financial Derivatives.